What's up, everybody? This is Trysta. Please subscribe to This League. Tap the bell, comment below, and give us a like. Space Jam. Space Jam 2, A New Legacy, Marty. Let me just give a little bit of context and stats. Okay. This is, for everyone who probably knows, the first one was a Michael Jordan film. Michael Jordan turned down the sequel because he thought the first one was good enough, and he's not the kind of guy that's like gonna chase the money for some bullshit film. So I love that about MJ. And just another separating factor between him and Bron. Everybody thinks I hate Bron, but I don't. But that's a separating factor. It is. The movie took 7 years to make. It got greenlit in 2014.
Yeah, like LeBron was still on the Cavs.
LeBron was on the Cavs when it got greenlit.
Newly on the Cavs again.
Yeah. And we know that LeBron can act. He looked good in, what was that movie?
Trainwreck.
Yeah, he looked good in Trainwreck. He looked really good as a member of the Cavs pretending to love Cleveland for like the last 3 years too. He looked really, really believable in that role. Like extremely believable. But it was something else, man.
It was a bad movie.
How far into it? Like, why was it bad to you? Like, you give me yours and then I'll give you mine.
It just, I mean, so Ken Jack, our coworker at Barstool, he had a great tweet about it that I kind of wish I hadn't seen before I watched it. But he was like, I don't know what kids thought of it, but as an adult, it was basically like a giant Warner Brothers commercial with a Ready Player One complex, which is just hit it really on the head. I mean, when they were going through, well, what did they, the serververse or whatever they called it, and it was like, oh, here's the DC world, here's the Game of Thrones. It's like, this is not what Space Jam like should be about, really, because I don't know. The first one, I think, really got a lot of people like into basketball and caring about basketball, and I don't know whether this one, and if kids like it, and that's great. Like I hope they do, like, and all that. But I don't think this is inspiring a generation of kids to be like, oh fuck yeah, basketball's awesome. Like
no, yeah, and I think that was what it was designed to do. Couple of things. I was watching with a friend, like we both played it at once from afar.
Right.
And they're like, hold on, something's wrong. Something's wrong. I have a bullshit ad in the first like 15 seconds. And I was like, what? And then like, no, oh shit, this is the movie. Like this ad is the movie. It was clear from 15 seconds in, this was one giant ad for like multiple stakeholders. Mm-hmm. And that was what was strange to me, because you started out with the LeBron James sizzle reel, which is so LeBron, isn't it?
Yeah, but the original had a Jordan sizzle reel.
It started with better song. Michael Jordan's low moments, though.
It did?
Yes,
I have to think about it again.
In baseball.
Ah.
So, okay, so you've got LeBron being like, to me, this is what it was. Okay, it takes 7 years to make. What are you doing? Why is it taking 7 years? Because WB is like, we're going to put fucking $150 million in this. What is this going to be? Like, are we going to make our money back? What's the best way for us to ensure that we can get this movie made? All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pitch to our bosses. Folks, this is it. This is going to turn into our entire year's worth of marketing budget into promoting Warner Brothers films and franchises.
Yep.
And on top of which, then once you have HBO Max, we're going to also be spending the money on promoting how to subscribe to HBO Max by putting this movie early on HBO Max. Right? So you've got them. That's a vanity project. It's basically a vanity project. We don't care if we make money. This is basically us just promoting ourselves. A giant blowjob, a self-blowjob Marilyn Manson situation, right? And then you have LeBron, who's like, no. Like, this is a vanity project for me. I want you to showcase me as like the cool family man. All I care about is my family. And by the way, these kids could not fucking act to save their life. So why not just pull a Will Smith and put your own fucking kids in it?
I don't know. They probably probably didn't have a whole lot of interest. I couldn't see a whole.
I doubt that.
I don't know.
I doubt Brawny being the kid who was the one that was like the golden child. I think Brawny would have loved that role. That was like a very small role. Just step back, hit.
Yeah, that could have been
couple
funny.
of screams.
Yeah.
Should have been Brawny.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you've got LeBron James basically throughout the movie sprinkling highlights of himself in there. It was like a battle. It was like a duo or a battle royale of like who and where the self-promotion lies.
Yeah, it was like, how many moments of this movie could I hashtag strive for greatness?
Yes.
Yeah.
It felt very much like that. Like Jordan, at least in Space Jam 1, never tried to self-brand being the family man. Never. He was embracing having hoes on the side. He never was like, family only comes first. It's like greatness comes first. LeBron's like, all I care about is being great and having my son and like being the best dad that I can. I'm just figuring it out on the fly because all I know is greatness on the brain. I've never done anything else but play basketball. It's like, no.
Well, something that came to my mind throughout watching this movie, and like, not to say that like, oh, adultery is like awesome, because like that's not even really where I was thinking about it, but just how much cooler Michael Jordan is than LeBron James. It's just as like as close as like they are in terms of like how good of basketball players they are. They're equally far in coolness. Like
it's so true.
Jordan just. He didn't have to try to be himself and just this cool aura. You know, even in a kid's movie, it's still like transpired. And there was all that cool stuff like with Bird and like Bill Murray and stuff that like adults liked. So there was that. And I think it kind of clouds the MJ versus LeBron argument. I mean, as dumb as the MJ versus LeBron argument is,
it does.
Just because people just like Jordan that much more than LeBron. LeBron's fucking lame. Like,
he is so corny. It's unfortunate. And I like LeBron on so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
But like, and listen, I get shit all the time for being quote unquote a tryhard, right? And that's fine. Like, whatever. I'm authentically me. I think LeBron James legitimately has the same exact brand issue where people are like, you're just doing too much. Everything feels forced. Everything feels calculated. Everything feels like you manipulating the world around you to fill your legacy and bolster your legacy, where MJ's just like, I'm the fucking man. I don't need to like prove anything. Everybody's coming to me. I've got these commercials with Spike Lee and like he was sex. Mm-hmm. LeBron is not sex. No. LeBron is the guy who is so not desirable and not attractive throughout his life from like maybe like a geeky standpoint. And now he's like the most famous guy in sports on the planet and still doesn't really know how to handle that fame. And I have seen that. I don't think I've ever shared this story publicly, but I'm going to share it. Whew, here we go. I'm at the All-Star game in New Orleans. I am wearing, it's hot as fuck.
This is like 2016, 17, one of the
DeMarcus Cousins boogie thing.
Yep.
I've got like a somewhat short dress on, low cut sort of deal. Super iridescent sunglasses. I'm in the tunnel of the Smoothie King, right? That's what it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it might have been practice, might have been a Mercedes. I don't know. I think it was Smoothie King because they ran like simultaneous stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I'm in there and I'm up against the wall in the tunnel. And I see all the All-Stars and I'm on my phone trying to capture social footage of like all the All-Stars. And I look down at my phone, I'm like trying to post something. And like LeBron and all of his homies or whatever, all of his teammates are like walking by. And LeBron and me make eye contact. It's the first time I've ever like really been up close to Bron. And he looks over and you can tell it was like he wasn't expecting to see women at that moment. Because it was just me and her, just me and my social media person standing in the tunnel. And it was just a practice. And we were there really early. And his head turned. People aren't even going to believe this story. It's so ridiculous. His head turned as he was walking past. and he ran into a fucking hole. And his teammates gave him so much shit. And I could not stop laughing. And it is now burned into my brain that is who LeBron is. That's not anything special to me. Like, I would not purport that was like a Trysta being an attractive thing. I think it was just like
LeBron's a nerd.
Two hot girls in the tunnel. They might kiss like that. You know, like LeBron is a nerd and has no idea what to do with like, oh, there's pretty women there. Like, I'm going to look at them. Maybe they're looking at me. Are they looking at me? It's like, you're fucking LeBron, dude. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, that is, I mean, A, that's a ridiculously hilarious story. And B, yeah, no, I've kind of said that, you know, throughout his career, like for as good as I don't think anyone's ever been as good at something as LeBron is. And yet still
so insecure.
Have the self-esteem of like me.
Yeah. Like someone needs to tell you, you're LeBron James. Like you are LeBron. And you know, part of it makes me think like, this is real psychoanalyzing. People are going to be like, oh, you hate LeBron. You're psychoanalyzing. When you're with someone as long as Bron is, he's been with Savannah for like since high school.
Yeah.
She knows him since he was fucking nobody, right? Just a phenom with a ton of potential. And she is the mother of his kids. He takes out the trash, probably not well, you know, like he has to do chores. They do life together. When you are in proximity to greatness for that long and you've been with them since they were not really the LeBron that we know now, like she's going to keep you more than humble. Right? Like she's gonna be like, I've known you since you were 15 years old. Like, just take the fucking garbage out. Yeah. Whereas like LeBron kind of needs someone to gas him up. Anyway, the acting was terrible in the movie. Yeah. All like, and people on Twitter are like, well, this movie is for kids. Yeah. And it's like, Pixar is also for kids. Old Disney movies, also for kids. And the acting was fucking great. So that adults and kids alike could get something out of it. There's levels to this shit. That had no levels. It was bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think it was. I did see, golly, I forget who tweeted it. I actually tweeted something and I had to delete it because I was like, hey, anyone have any like children that have watched it? Like, I would like to know, please DM. But then I realized that sounded kind of weird, so I deleted it. But I did see someone tweeted out this morning that said every kid that I've talked to that's seen Space Jam loved it. So I do need to like make that known because it was made for kids. But I don't think. I'm just going to reiterate the point I already made. Like Space Jam, the original, I was in kindergarten when that came out. And like literally on the playground at recess, every single day, it was, we're playing Space Jam. I'm Michael Jordan. Who are you? Like, yeah. And I really don't see this doing that for basketball.
They're going to bring out like trampolines. And there's like literally going to be people bringing trampolines onto the basketball court because they think that they like can get ultra boosts from that.
And like the officially licensed mobile game, is coming.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there is so much merch coming from this. People already wanting the Space Jam shoes and the this and the that. I mean, it was wild.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to bring up real quickly was I thought it was funny in the first one because I rewatched it like like in the last like year, and they kind of dressed down Michael Jordan's extravagancies. Like his house is like really small. Like Wayne Knight's character like drives him home from the baseball stadium, and he's just got.
They did that to LeBron too. Did you see that broke ass Mercedes they had him driving up to Warner Brothers with?
I don't know about the car, but
it was like an old school C-Class from like 2005. Okay. I was like, no way LeBron James drives that Mercedes.
Well, like the opening shot of him in his Calabasas home.
Oh, that was pretty fly. Yeah, no, that was where it's like ball.
Yeah.
Ball. The inconsistency of house and car. That was strange for me. Yeah. That was strange for me. I also thought that the time where he was in Warner Brothers and he's like, this is a trash idea. I was like, this is probably adapted from real life when LeBron got the original Space Jam script for the first time. Where he's like, this, I would never say these things. This is not me at all. Like, fuck you. Absolutely not. I do want a couple of positives because I don't want to just shit on it. I thought there were 2 stars of the movie. One was Ernie Johnson.
He was good.
He was really good. Like he provided a level of like believability that could not be achieved elsewhere.
Yeah.
2, let's just break down Don Cheadle for a second.
Okay.
Don Cheadle has played in huge dramatic roles. Hotel Rwanda, probably the one that first comes to mind. He can act his ass off. We know that he can. And to be dropped in as the villain of this movie, Don Cheadle was trying to carry everyone. He was trying to show you this is what real acting. And of course, there was like AI and green screen and like CGI and all these other things that make Don Cheadle less believable.
There's so much CGI.
So much CGI. Too much CGI. That I thought that he was really trying to be like, listen, I am algae rhythm. I am the best villain you've ever seen. I really want to win a supporting actor role for Space Jam 2. And that to me was respectable. Respectable for Don Cheadle to like steal the money. It was stolen money. Who would you have rather have seen in that villain role?
I don't know. I mean, I think he did what he could. As far as a recast, like, I don't know. I really, no one's really coming to mind right now.
Samuel L. Jackson would be good. Matrix, sort of Matrix.
That could have been funny.
Yeah. But that would have been probably it's a competitor. Can't have competitor franchises on the WB.
Right.
I mean, there were so many. The corniest thing, though, just real quick, is the Notorious P.I.G. Like, the rap thing came in.
That was weird.
It was weird. The Damian Lillard rap thing was fine. The least believable thing was Damian Lillard coming in as the King Stopper. It's like, bro, you just got destroyed by Caleb Agata. You are not the King Stopper.
Yeah.
Destroyed by Caleb Agata. You could not defend LeBron James if your fucking life depended on it.
Yeah, it was bad timing for Dame.
Bad timing for that movie to come out for Dame.
I liked the Michael B. Jordan cameo.
I did too.
I thought that was kind of funny.
He also provided a level of legitimacy to the program.
Yeah.
Reviews. LeBron got murdered by the graphics guy, ABC. He put the 31% Rotten Tomatoes down there. Oh, man. He was like, yeah, I'll put your fucking movie promo up and I'll put the Rotten Tomatoes up to it next to it.
31's not honestly that's not like all-time terrible. Like, honestly.
It's not Geely.
Right. I mean, it's certainly not good. You aim for higher than that, but that's not like an all-time embarrassing score.
It's not a success.
No. Of course not.
It beat out Black Widow for number 1 at the box office. It cost $150 million to make, another $150 million to market, and they had $51 million total globally on opening weekend. You are a long way from the black. A long way. Somebody said on Twitter, like, I had just subscribed to HBO Max anyway about 2 weeks ago, and I'm really sad that this is going to be attributed to LeBron James. Like, this one subscription is going to be. I could say a lot about Lola Bunny. There's some controversial stuff about Lola Bunny, that they made her boobs smaller and her waist a little more. Like, she's an athletic Lola Bunny. I think Paige Spiranak, a golf personality who's on Twitter, she hated it. She thought it's like. So we could spend a whole day dissecting that, but I'm not going to.